Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Redeemed Marriage Podcast. This is Rusty and Heather Bryant. We're excited to be back with you for another week, and we've got a few things we want to run through real quick before we start our podcast episode for this week. So, the first thing is this. If you have not listened to last week's episode, it's going to go hand in hand with this week's, so you need to go back and listen. We started a little series on romance, and I asked Heather a series of questions. 10 questions about what she thinks is romantic. She answered those questions on air, had no idea what the questions were. And now you have a chance to ask these questions or have your spouse ask these questions, whichever one you are. Because I don't know if you're the husband or the wife right now that's listening to this, but you have a chance to ask these same questions or answer these same questions. And all you have to do is go to our website. We promised this last week. So if you haven't seen on social media or seen, if you're not already on our e-newsletter list, our email list, then go to our website at theredeemedmarriage.com. And up in the top, you'll see a little banner that says that you can click on and you can get your romance questions to ask her. And then at some point this week, we'll be adding the romance questions to ask him, because that's what we're going to do today. And I'm so excited. But before we go there, you definitely need to take advantage of this free download that you can ask these questions. It's a great discussion starter. You'll have a lot of fun with it. You'll be amazed at how much or how little you know about your spouse and their romantic tendencies. But then also, I got to tell you guys, if you don't follow us on social media, you might be missing out. No, you not might be.
You are.
You are missing out. We are trying to step up our game, and we have some help. We have
with the help of one of our amazing listeners.
Yes. So we have someone that is way more creative and talented than us, but giving us lots of good ideas, doing lots of video and stuff for us, and putting things together and making our social media interactions so much more fun over the last few days. So go follow us. We are actually on all the good stuff. We're on Facebook. We have a big following there. We're on Instagram. We're trying to pick up some steam there because videos, we're working on that a lot more. We also have YouTube, and so we post YouTube shorts, but then also you can watch our video. You can watch this right now, what we're recording.
Right.
You can watch our podcast on YouTube, and then, we dove into the whole TikTok thing.
TikTok a little bit.
And it's been really fun this week because we've tried some trendy things that have been a lot of fun. But all of it has a marriage twist to it, some good things to get you thinking about, but also just to laugh. We all need to laugh a little bit. And so it's not all just serious, and there's some fun stuff. So go follow us on all of those accounts. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And the thing is, if you enjoy it, make sure you interact with us, that you like it and things like that, because it just shows us, hey, there are people out there that are enjoying this content, and it makes us want to do more of it. Yeah. So we just would encourage you. And you can comment on things, you can share it, all those kind of things, and it just encourages us to do more. And we're having fun. So, because we just have fun. We just have fun. We just have fun. That's part of why we do what we do.
Okay, you know what was not fun?
No.
Is you surprising me with 10 questions last week.
You're about to give me 10,
I know,
and I have
I'm
so
excited.
Yeah.
Because I was working on the graphics for the thing we'll make available. I was working on that yesterday, and I said, don't open Canva because I'm going to be typing in some questions, and I didn't want you to have access to my questions because I didn't know what you were going to ask. So, and it just kind of reminded me that it's important to talk about this stuff. You think, after almost 29 years of marriage, you would think that we know what each other thinks is romantic. But I just think it's so, so important. So, okay, you ready?
Yeah, but I'm going to say this too. So in light of what you shared with me last week, I started doing some research and even kind of trying to plan a romantic getaway. And man, when it's hard, like, because there's two reasons why it's hard. For one, now I know these really specific things, and I know the things that you don't really care for. So, like, to try to avoid those things is a little bit difficult. But then also knowing that, and this may come out even more with these questions, but we're really different in a lot of ways. And so I think I know where one of these podcast episodes needs to be in the next couple of weeks is just, what do you do when you're so different? Because we kind of different on some of these things.
Well, and when you were like, okay, you got to come up with 10 questions to ask me, I'm like, I can't think of 10 questions because I 100% know what you think is romantic. You want to go to the mountains, hike during the day, and then let me wear a costume. If you are new here, a costume is our word for lingerie at night. And then that's all. That's literally all you need. And all that you think is romantic. So I'm really going to make you really think on these 10 questions. Okay.
I'm sweating.
Yeah, you should. All right,
No,
here
I'm
we
not
go.
sweating. I don't really
Question
care.
one.
Question one.
When do you feel the most loved by me? Now, not just generally, but in a way that feels romantic to you. When do you feel the most loved by me in a romantic way?
Oh, wait. There's no A, B, and C?
No.
I got to just come up with this off the top of my head.
Like, what feels the most romantic to you when you're like, oh, she's being romantic?
Okay. Yeah, that actually is pretty easy. I think there's maybe 3 words that I'm going to say. Flirting. So if you flirt with me, and that can be in all sorts of different ways, that you pursue me.
Okay.
And that you initiate.
Okay.
Those 3 words it shows me that's romantic. Flirting.
Should I be taking notes?
Or you can just go back and listen.
Okay.
Go back and listen to this.
Flirting.
Put it on repeat.
Okay.
Listen to it every day.
Okay. Flirting.
Pursue me, and initiate.
Got it.
Okay, so those...
Do you know, we haven't done it, we're not old enough, but I've heard my parents talk about those memory things that a nurse will do with you, and they'll say, okay, I'm going to tell you 3 words, and then I'm going to ask you a bunch of different questions, and then at the end, I'm going to ask you those 3 words.
Okay, what were the 3 words? You failed.
No, flirting and initiate. Pursued?
Yeah,
Pursued. Yep. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Now.
How'd I do?
That was question 1. All right. Question 2. Now, this isn't a long, drawn-out answer. This is just real easy.
Well, it might
if
be.
I handed you the keys and said, here, take us to a romantic weekend, where are we going?
What? That could be really long. What do you mean? Wait. You said don't make it long. So you don't necessarily want the details of the trip. You just want to know
what we're where are we going? Like, where would you say, where are we going? What are we doing?
Yeah, we would definitely be going to a cabin in the mountains.
Okay.
And we would...
What are we doing?
Well, we would definitely do some outdoor hiking, something like that, where we would go... I know you love waterfalls. I do too. But something with water would be fun. Not like, we don't necessarily like to get in the water.
Right.
We just
we do like to whitewater raft.
Yeah. But I just mean like hiking to something that's nice and pretty. And then, and this is where you and I are probably a little bit different because you don't necessarily love this, but like in a cabin setting that would have like a hot tub or something, that would be with a nice view outside, that kind of thing. That's really cool to me. Very romantic to me. So
you want to sit in a hot tub and look at the mountains?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
While you pursue me.
And flirt.
While you flirt, pursue, and initiate.
There you go. Okay, I got it. Flirt, pursue, initiate. Okay, got it. All right. question 3. Now that was kind of the bigger picture.
Okay.
Like here's, but I wanna. This next question has to do with little things. Okay, is there anything I do that might seem really small to me, but feels romantic to you? Like where I would go, seriously, that's romantic. Like it would just be something really small.
Well, I don't like gifts because I do not like really anything that's stressful when it comes to money. So that's off the table. I don't need any kind of a gift or anything like that. I think that flirt, like the words and the playfulness of the flirting and pursuing me, like that doesn't cost you anything or really even any kind of effort necessarily. I mean, it does you do have to think about it because that's not necessarily how you're wired. But other than that, there's not really much you have to do there. That's a big thing. I would say too, I mean, you joked about the costume thing, but when you think ahead and you're like, ooh, I'm going to pack this to make, then that just shows me, oh, you were thinking of me. You were thinking of what's romantic to me when we left to go do whatever or plan this. But that's not even a going away thing. That's even here, and I mean, like probably that's one of the only things that if you spent money on, like I wouldn't question it or it wouldn't bother me at all.
If I bought new costume, lingerie.
Yes, right. That's right.
That's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't but anything else, like if I came home and you bought me a gift, I mean, I would just be thinking, okay, how much was that? Could we afford that? Should we have spent the money on that? But probably that would be the one thing that I probably wouldn't even really think about.
So I can buy as much lingerie as I want. That's what I hear you saying. Okay. All right. That's a good answer.
Okay.
That's good. Okay. Now, I just said we've been married almost 29 years at the time we're recording this, but we also dated for 7 before we got married. So I want you to think back over the years and try to think of a time that I surprised you and it stuck with you and felt romantic and just really made you feel loved. What's a time that I surprised you that you're like, that was romantic. That made me feel loved.
I mean, I know I'm kind of harping on these same words, but I mean, that was a great question to really kick it off because I think everything kind of revolves around those words. But the times that I can remember where you just surprised me, whether it was at home or we were, traveling or something, and you kind of, I guess, a surprising pursuing or initiating with me that was just something that may have been a little bit out of the ordinary, and I don't want to go into details but just something that was a little bit, oh, okay, well, that was different and unexpected, and that would be the surprise part. And that, because when that happens to me, it's all about, you were just thinking about me. Like, you're just thinking about me. And that, to me, is romantic. Because I think that the guy is supposed to be the one that's romantic. And we're supposed to do things that are romantic for our spouse and makes them feel special and things like that. So when you do something that just goes, oh, man, she was just thinking about me, then that just blows me away.
Okay. All right. So this one's going to be a little bit tricky. When you think about romance, and I say it's going to be tricky, but you might have answered it kind of. Is romance to you more about the setting the words or how it makes you feel?
Oh, gosh.
Like when you think, okay, that was romantic, is it where we were? Or is it the words I said? Or is it how I made you feel?
All of them. I think that there's these different levels. Okay, when we're talking about romance, there are different levels of romance, because I think we get this thing in our mind, and part of it is because even over the last few days I've been doing this research just for fun, but it's some other things that we're working on within the ministry and things that we can help couples with, and it has to do with romance. And so I've been doing a lot of thinking. I've had some time because I've been traveling. And so when I, am looking up places to go and different places and different settings like you're talking about, yes, like those things are super romantic. And the reason why they're romantic to me is because what's romantic to me is being on an adventure with you. So when we are actively doing things and we're together, then that's very romantic to me. So, like I wouldn't necessarily say that sitting on the couch at home, hanging out, cuddling on the couch, watching TV, do I consider that to be romantic? It's fun. It's fun, and I enjoy doing that. But I wouldn't go, wow, that was romantic.
Okay.
So there is something to be said about the setting, but that's the big picture. Because how many times can you really do that even in a year?
Yeah,
maybe once.
Right.
And so then you have to bring it back, and you have to go, okay, well, there needs to be romance in everyday life. And so how do you make things be romantic in everyday life? Well, that's when it comes to the words and how you make me feel. And that goes back to those pursuing me, flirting, initiating, because those are words that you're using, and you're making me feel a certain way, and I can go, man, it wasn't because of the setting, but that was pretty romantic. But even that, I think a lot of that is, what's the adventure? What is the adventure? What is it that we're doing together? So I don't know. I went round a roundabout way of the setting is on a big scale. Yeah, I like a setting. I like a romantic setting. But it's really the feeling of we're together, we're on this adventure together, this life, and then the words you say can make me feel certain ways as well. How's that?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you basically said all of them are important in their own way.
Yeah.
And at certain times. Okay. All right. So if we had 0 plans and no kids were around, I mean, we have that sometimes, no kids around, but I'm just saying for the general public, if we had no plans and no kids around, how would you want to spend a night together? We're not going anywhere. We could go out on a date, but I'm just saying we're not traveling somewhere. One night, no plans, no kids. What would you want to do that feels romantic?
Yeah. Okay. And we're really starting to zero in, and we're zeroing in a little bit on our differences, because
I don't want no.
No.
Okay, no. Let me rephrase. No. If we had no plans and no kids, what would you want to do to spend a night together? Like, not what would you like to do for me? I'm just saying, if you had a romantic night and you're like, this is what I would want to do, not having to consider my feelings or what I wanted, what would you do?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because for me, and I think a lot of guys are like this, so maybe I'm speaking for guys, but when I married you, and I think this is what's a lot of differences between male and female. You have this, there's a lot of romantic fantasies and expectations and things like that. And for a guy, for me, Like I want the companionship and I want somebody to do life and do adventure with. And so, I mean, I think a good example of this is like, was it last night? It was just, no, because I wasn't here last night. 2 nights ago, we were in this situation. We literally had nothing to do and no kids around because we're empty nesters. And so I said, we had gotten food, and I don't even remember what all happened, but we were just sitting on the couch. And even though I need that because it never happens, I don't like it. And our boys are the same way. They just don't like to be still. And so I said, well, why don't we go get ice cream? And we did, and it was great. We had a good time. But then we got out, and I was like, let's go for a walk. Like we were in Old Town, which is a really cool place here where we live. And I was like, let's go for a walk. Well, we did, but like I could have walked I would have gone and explored things. Like I would have said, ooh, let's go down here and, let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. but like I would like the adventure of that. And you were like, let's go back to the car. There's mosquitoes out here, that kind of thing. And so that's what makes it really hard, because I would say that if there's a night and we don't have anything to do, I would want to, what is an adventure that we can do together? And I don't mean adventure, but even if it's just, hey, let's go out and go for a walk, because then that's how I connect with you. And then I feel very close to you. And then, of course, I would like to come back and enjoy
the costumes
or whatever.
Okay. All right. We're on question 7.
Okay.
You ready?
Okay. Yes.
If time and money weren't an issue, what is one romantic thing that you would want us to try?
Time and money. Well, I mean, I have a bucket list. So you're talking, I mean, this is like a big ticket item kind of a
time
thing.
And money weren't an issue.
Well, I think this goes back to adventure too. I mean, I love to travel, and you do too, but I don't mind, like I don't mind going places that are like I love going to other countries, and I've been able to travel a lot all over the world, but thinking there's a big difference in me going and traveling to all these places that I've been. And then when I shift gears and I think about going with you, it becomes romantic. And I'm thinking, oh, how can we go and do this adventure together? And it's romantic. Like even last year, I think when we took off and had the opportunity to go to California for the first time, and we did this double date, which was so much fun. And we met some new friends out there that we had gotten to know. And then we went to Oregon to see our son. But that whole trip, like even as we were planning it, our whole purpose, it wasn't to go and to have this romantic getaway. But for me, it was extremely romantic. And I was trying to think of ways to make it even more romantic, because I'm like, first time in California, we get to go to the beach. And but it was more about the adventure. And it was more about the journey and doing life with you. So I think if money wasn't involved and no time didn't matter, it would be, where can we go that we've never been before to experience an adventure together, and let's make it romantic at the same time. Because like one of my bucket list items is a cruise to Alaska. Like I want to do that so bad. I know that we've both talked about going somewhere like a place like Italy and just, experiencing that culture. But when I do that, it's because it's an adventure together, and how can we make it romantic at the same time?
Mm-hmm. No, that's good. That's good. I like that answer. Okay. Question 8.
All right.
Now, this one, all right. I need you to follow me on this one. Okay. You know how sometimes we'll plan one thing and it goes completely different, or we'll think that, and not necessarily we planned a good thing and it ended up bad, just, we were planning it this way and it went awry, but that was still fun. I mean, we've done that with us. We've done that with our 4 family. We've done that with extended family. So can you think of an occasion or a moment that we weren't really planning on it being romantic, but looking back, you're like, that was really romantic and fun?
Well, okay. I don't know that, I mean, put me on the spot. I don't know that I can think of a specific.
Or maybe something that just surprised you that was romantic that you didn't think necessarily would be. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm positive that I could think of like specific things, but the I think that even this, it just goes back to the you like a plan, and when you're better about this now, but when things don't really, you have expectations, and when things don't really go the way that you expected them in the past, more so than now, it would make you really frustrated, and you couldn't really get your focus off of the fact that it just didn't happen.
Went wrong.
Yeah, it went wrong because you like for everything to go really well.
Right.
And when there's been times that things maybe they didn't go exactly the way they were supposed to go, and like you were fine with it, and so it took the pressure and off of me worrying so much about you, and you were more into this moment of, oh, it's fine, I'm with you, so I don't really care what happens. That's super romantic to me, because then you're stepping into my world and you're going, hey, I'm just on this adventure with you, and even though it didn't go as planned, I'm still with you.
Right.
And so we're going to have a great time because I'm with you. And that just, all of those things about what's romantic to you, all of that comes together in that moment. So, you know, like things like, I mean, this is even such a long time ago, but we were in a cabin. We went to a cabin in the mountains, and we sort of, we came across like this little shop somewhere, and they had pottery and things like that. And it was very unexpected, but it was just like, oh, this is cool. And I think that somewhere deep down, we were like, we want to be this type of couple that just is very okay and spontaneous with whatever happens. We can have a plan.
Yeah.
But if the plan doesn't work, well, we hit the curveball and go a different direction. Pivot. Yeah. So I think that it's more like I am completely okay with it when I'm with you, but I feel like you're not completely okay with it, and so it really bothers me, and it makes me frustrated because I want you, like if we have something planned, I want you to enjoy it, and I want you to be happy, and if it doesn't go the way it was supposed to go, I feel really bad. Where if I know that you're just like, I don't care, this is great, it's an adventure, and whatever happens, I'm just with you, like then that's like, oh yeah, we're just in this together, and it's fine.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good. All right, question 9. Obviously, romance isn't always about what happens in the bedroom, but so what I'm asking is, outside of sex, what kind of closeness feels especially romantic to you? And you hit on this a little bit with your 3 words. And so that might be your same answer. Let me see if I can do it. When I flirt with you, that's romantic. When I initiate with you, that's really romantic. And when I flirt, initiate, pursue, when I pursue you. Would that be your answer, or can you think of something else?
Well, it would be my answer. And, you know, and I think that we're both very, very guilty of this, but I think that when you flirt, pursue, initiate, it's because you're giving me attention, and not even so much giving me attention, but you're saying to me, hey, I want to be with you, and I want to do life with you. Now, that doesn't mean that every second of the day that we have to be, you know, completely engaged with each other. We need time that we're chilling and just relaxing and enjoying it. But where I'm going with this is, we both can fall into this habit of we don't have really anything to do, and so we're just going to kind of sit around and, I mean, we like to read, but we get on our phones and we, you know, just waste time, that sort of thing. But when you show this effort of, ooh, let's do something together, like I want to be with you, and even if it's nothing, like nothing planned, but oh, I need to run this errand. Let's go together, or, that kind of thing. That shows me that you just want to be with me, and that's romantic.
Okay.
So
last question.
So was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
What does romance look like in the middle of laundry, work, and grocery runs? Mm-hmm. Real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I just think it goes back to those. I mean, every
You're
answer,
not difficult.
I'm not.
I mean, and that's what I told you at the very beginning of the thing. And that's why 10 questions are so hard, because I feel like for men, it's really straightforward and simple. And even among these 10 questions, which I still think they're good, I still think you should ask them to your spouse, because we talk probably a lot more than most spouses do, because we do this right here. Mm-hmm. We talk on for everybody to hear. We're real open, but some people may not have these type of conversations, and they may not know, like, how I started this podcast and I was like, if we went to the mountains and I had a new costume every night, you'd be happy. They may not know that simpleness about their husband. So I still think these questions are important.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to end with, we're talking about going to the mountains. We're talking about an Alaskan cruise. We're talking about, but like, this is where it hits. Like, what does romance look like in the middle of laundry, work, and grocery runs?
Yeah. And I think that, I don't want to, I'm trying to figure out how to exactly say this, but there's this playfulness. I love the playfulness. I love laughing and joking and not, I'm just thinking, like, the other day, you sent me to the grocery store to get something, and I was making some jokes, even with, calling something that you asked me to get, and I was calling it some kind of fun and playful and sexual names just to joke around with you. And for you to just engage in that and laugh back about it, and not be like, oh, like, it's just life. We've been through so much in life that it doesn't always have to be serious and hard. And my counselor, I've said this before to many, many, many times, but when my counselor, after we went through our infidelity, and she looked at me and said, don't take life so seriously. And I've tried to live by that. And there are lots of things that happen that, can get me down and make life more serious. But when you and I just recognize this is just a journey that we're on together, there is no reason for us to be so hard on each other, or, for us to demand things from each other or have these unrealistic expectations. It's just we're companions, we're partners, and doing it in a fun and playful way. I think that's what's romantic about everyday life. It's not, we've got to check a bunch of boxes and get things done. It's, how can we do this together and laugh about it and enjoy it while we're doing it?
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Is that it? No
That's
bonus
it.
questions? No. All right.
No bonus questions. And ladies, print these out. Ask your husband, your spouse, and try to listen. Like, really listen, and just don't get frustrated. Like, let them just know that you hear them and you see them and you value their thoughts.
Yep. I love it. All right. So go be romantic this week. All right. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.